Jaron Boots Ennis faces Roiman Vila, I believe sometime in July. I think they said July 8th. There's nothing that's been confirmed. I can't see any definite confirmation, but that's pretty much what the speculation is now, that he's fighting Roiman Vila. And Roiman Vila is the guy who gave Rashidi Ellis his first loss. They actually fought on the same card. Boots was fighting Karen Chukazan, and that is one of the first fights I seen Jaron Ennis struggle in. It was against a dude that was almost damn near like a pure boxer. He moved around a lot. Boots wasn't really cutting the ring off well against him, but nonetheless, Boots got the W. So let me just I'm gonna give my prediction for this fight, because it looked like it's about to be a thing. So I want to give a prediction about it, about this fight. I think it's a rather interesting fight. This guy Roiman Vila, I can't find much of his fights online. I never heard of him until I seen him fight Rashidi Ellis. He's of Colombian nationality, but he lives in Venezuela. His record, it stands at 26 wins, 1 loss, 24 big wins by knockout. So this Roiman Vila dude, definitely, he's somebody to, he's a force to reckon with, man. He got punching power. His punching ratio is his knockout ratio is 88.89. So it's up there. Similar to Jaron Ennis. Okay. He's 30 years old. He has a 70-inch arm reach, 5'7" in height. Now, this guy has been on he started his career in 2015, and he had a knockout streak for 4 years straight. He's been knocking out his opponents. So that's from 2015 to 2019. His first loss was a split decision to a guy named Marcos Vilasanya. That was in 2019. But the guy got some serious power. He doesn't really have much footwork. Maybe he hasn't had to use his footwork yet. Maybe he does have footwork, but we haven't seen it, because he ain't really been fighting nobody of high caliber. Maybe that's it. Definitely don't seem like he has much defense. He didn't show very much defense against Rashidi Ellis. He was pretty much coming forward most of that fight with Rashidi Ellis. He wasn't really respecting Rashidi Ellis' power, because Rashidi Ellis ain't really known for his punching power like that. So he was damn near walking through his punches. His style of fighting is pretty much come forward, swing, minimal defense. He got good body work, thudding body shots, decent uppercut, man. But like I said, he's one of these come forward fighters, and he has almost no defense. So maybe he feel like up till now, none of the people that he's been facing has any power. He wasn't really respecting their power. I don't know. But into Jaron Boots Ennis, a whole entirely different animal. Okay. And I just find it ironic that both these dudes was on the same card and they was going to end up fighting each other. I believe if Rashidi Ellis would have won that fight, he would have been next to fight Jaron Boots Ennis. But Rashidi Ellis lost. So enter Roiman Vila, right? Like I said, I don't know who this. I've never really heard of him. He never really made much noise over here. That's why you can't really find much of his fight highlights. And when you do see him, it's like a lot of his fights, they took place. Like if you go on his record and you look, most of his fights took place in other countries. That's how it is with a lot of these dudes that you don't really hear of. You don't really hear nothing much from them. They pull these dudes up, and then you got to go search for their videos. And then most of the time, you don't even see many of their pro videos from over here in the States, because they fought mostly overseas. You know what I mean? So doesn't mean he's not a real threat. It just means he wasn't a threat over here. But now he is a possible threat to Jaron Ennis. Now let's run through. Let's talk about Jaron Ennis real quick, man. Jaron Ennis is currently at 30 wins, no losses, 27 big wins by knockout. So Jaron Ennis has an 87% knockout ratio. So him and this Roman Villa dude, they're like their knockout ratios are right there. Okay, so we dealing with two serious dudes with serious power. Uh, but clearly, by a landslide, Jaron Ennis has the skill advantage over this dude by far. Better footwork, better speed, better defense, better head movement. The power, like I said, on as far as box rec, it might seem it's neck and neck, but there's no such thing as equal power. You know what I mean? So it's just the ratios of their knockouts is almost the same. That's really it. Uh, they both knocking dudes out in a vicious fashion. The highlights that I did see of Roiman Villa, he was getting dudes out of there with some real heavy shit. Um, can he hurt Jaron Ennis? Absolutely. Can Jaron Ennis hurt him? Sure. So how do I see this fight going, man? I'm all over the place. Because I'm tired. I just made this off the cuff, y'all. So y'all gotta forgive me with this one. Forgot to read the stats of Jaron Ennis, his reach and stuff. Jaron Ennis is younger than him. He's 25 years old versus Roiman Villa is 30 years old. Boots is taller with a 5'10" with a 74-inch arm reach. So Boots is taller and he has all the dimensions over this guy, man, and he has the youth. All right, their records are almost similar as far as how many fights, almost the same amount, 3 or 4 give or take. But how does this fight go? Well, you see, triangle theories. I really don't really like to get into that as much, but sometimes, triangle theories, or when you see how other fighters do compared to other fighters, you might look at it like, okay, this is how that person will perform. In some cases, you can kind of you can get things from that, but not all the time. But I'm gonna put it like this: these two dudes fought on the same card. I watched Boots' performance against Chukasan, which is a mover, not really a puncher. I watched Royman's, same thing. Both of them was facing movers. I just find that kind of ironic. Roiman Villa and Boots Ennis were both facing movers. Okay, Rashidi Ellis was a mover, but he had a little bit more pop than this Chukasan dude that Boots was fighting. They both was walking through these dudes, and they wasn't really feeling
Marissa, it's time to choose your date.
Like it was no tomorrow.
Why not both?
And Boots didn't know how to cut the ring off. Well, he was confused with what Chukasan was doing, but eventually he got the win. He got it. He, because he was the aggressor. Now you're gonna have this Roiman dude in there with somebody with some real power as far as Boots. Either he's gonna approach this fight totally different than he usually do against people that don't really punch, or he's gonna be foolish enough to go in there and think he's gonna bulldoze Jaron Ennis. Now I know Jaron Ennis, he didn't have the best looking fight against Chukasan. Doesn't matter, and I said this already in a few videos, man. Just because you have a bad day in the office don't make you a bad worker. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's entitled to bad days, man. You feel me? Took nothing away from Boots. I seen a lot of people saying, was he exposed? You can't call him exposed off of one fight, man. He had one fight. He learned from it. It's still a learning experience. And a lot of people would say, well, in 29 fights, he should already been past a Chukasan. But, you can't say that because, like I said, you got these dudes in these other countries, man. They're highly skilled, too. They just ain't really known like that. So that doesn't mean he didn't fight nobody. It just mean he didn't fight nobody as far as being in the States nobody. See it that way, right? But if Villa goes in there and he tries to fight Boots the way he fought Rashidi Ellis, it's a possibility he was going to get knocked out. Just pure simple. We don't know how this Roiman Villa's chin really is either because we haven't seen him hit by anybody with any significant power. He never really had to. He was walking through and running through all his opponents, man, up until now. Boots as well. His hardest puncher, I think, was Carlos Abreu. So far, between him and Lip and Yates, those probably was the hardest punchers that Boots faced. I would give the edge to Carlos Abreu, and Boots smoked him. I think what was it, the 7th round he knocked him out in. So I don't see this dude outboxing Boots. It's not gonna happen. He throws a lot of punches when he bang you to the body up against the ropes. Boots is not really a volume puncher. He could put together some good combos and stuff, but he hits hard. And I see this dude. I mean, it's a possibility. This dude is a threat. You know, anybody with power is a threat. But I think he just got to punch his chance. That's as much as I give this guy. I give him a puncher's chance against Jaron Ennis. I think Boots is still much too slick. Dude was having his issues early on in that fight with Rashidi Ellis. Problem with Rashidi Ellis is he got tired towards the end and he didn't have the power to keep him off of him. He was slick, but his gas tank didn't hold up, man. I think Rashidi Ellis would have kept going and like kept that same pace like early on in the fight, he probably would have won. But he started slowing down towards the middle, and Roiman just got to him, man. The power was getting to him. And Rashidi Ellis probably just not as durable as the Boots probably is. Now, to be fair, you know, we haven't seen Boots hit with no power of this Roiman Vila dude. He's been hit by a few dudes with some kind of pop, but nothing of significance like a Roiman Vila type power. So both of these dudes are stepping into the arena against a person that have more power than they ever felt before. So this should be a little interesting to see how they react to each other's power. But I think ultimately, man, Jaron Boots Ennis gets him out, man. I think he has the power to stop this dude. I say Boots. If this guy fights a reckless fight like he always does and he comes forward, Boots gets him out within like 5 or 6 rounds. He's not going to be moving away from him like Chukazan was doing. He's going to be coming forward, and that's pretty much tailor-made for Jaron Ennis, man. So I got Jaron Boots Ennis in this fight. I'd say 6-round stoppage. No issues. I think, in a sense, I think Boots is going to make this look easy. There's always a possibility, though. There's always a concern there that this guy could stop Boots. It's possible, man. I've seen comments where people said that this might be a Maidana Adrian Broner fight type moment. You never know, but I don't think so. I think Boots gets him. You know, so that is my prediction. Jaron Boots in a 6-round KO. Let me know what you think. This is your boy Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later, and I'm out.